Welcome to Elevate Springfield, where we will dive into strategies and stories that help you rise to your full potential. Each episode, we'll talk about how you can take intentional steps to elevate your life and your business while making a meaningful impact on those around you. Along the way, we're going to bring in the change makers from our community that are already elevating. We'll bring the actionable strategies, you bring the discipline and follow through, and together we can elevate Springfield.
All right, let's go, Springfield. Time to 10X, time to level up. Hey, you are listening to the Elevate Springfield podcast, coming to you from the Big Dog Construction Studio in beautiful downtown Springfield. Robert Farrell here, certified 10X coach, speaker, and mentor, here to bring you actionable strategies. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together we're going to elevate Springfield. Well, hey, you are listening to the Wellness Upgrade on Elevate Springfield, where we're going to bring you specific strategies to help elevate your health and wellness. Hey, if you're not elevating your health and wellness, you're not going to be able to elevate in all other areas. This is the baseline. You know I'm passionate about it, and you know that's why I brought this segment to Elevate Springfield. We want to thank our friends over at Shudokan Karate Club here in Springfield. Sensei Dennis and his team, over 50 years in the Springfield area. Traditional karate, teaching self-discipline, confidence, community. Traditional, powerful, real. That's Shudokan Karate Club here in Springfield. Check them out. ShudokanKarateSpringfield.com. We're going to get right to our guest after the break.
When I first walked into Shudokan Karate Club, I was just looking for a way to get stronger, but what I found was so much more. Here we train in traditional karate, the real stuff, passed down through generations. Every punch, every kata has purpose. I've learned self-discipline, confidence, and how to protect myself. Not just in class, but in real life. It's not about being aggressive, it's about being prepared. This is more than a club, it's a way of life. Join us at Shudokan, traditional, powerful, real. Ki-ai!
All right, and we are back for another edition of the Wellness Upgrade. Hey, we got a familiar face in. You may remember her from, 3 months ago when she was in for a full episode. But we've got Dr. Kelly Neumann back. How are you doing today?
Hello, good. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely.
Hello,
good to
everyone.
have you back. Good to have you back. So for those that may not have heard the previous episode, remind everybody what you do.
Oh, I'm a physical therapist. Sports and ortho is my thing. Used to be in outpatient rehabilitation. Now kind of switching to a proactive approach where we can quantify movement without necessarily needing the whole, before things get wrong. So just kind of working on the health and wellness aspect of it. So that's with the recovery room is what I'm calling it.
Yeah.
It's just a service. It's what the community needs. So it's what, everyone has their certain team, right? So my thought was it's really hard for people to go to physical therapy or to get the knowledge because most of the time PTs are done by 5, So to be able to figure out another alternative for people that still want that education on mechanics and kinematics, but yet are limited to different things. So you don't necessarily have to have pain. It's more of just awareness of how your body moves.
And what is, some people might not have heard the term kinematics.
Oh,
what
kinematics.
is that? Yeah.
Okay. So guys, it's kinematics for a reason. So that people can ask me, hey, what does kinematics mean? Because it is the science of movement. So it's the science, it's the study of the movement. And you'll hear things like arthrokinematics, that's your joint movement. So there's different variables of movement. And mine is more of the sports and just how dynamic that movement can be and breaking it down and kind of picking up on maybe not faulty movement, but maybe not as efficient as it could be. Now, we just want to pick up on those markers earlier than later.
Okay. Awesome. Well, topic of the day
kind of that mind, body, soul connection. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, what I'm really excited about that because it kind of goes right into #mission to move. And this is near and dear to my heart. It is the reason of the recovery room, which was me understanding as a clinician, as a sister, as a friend, wife, that something was wrong. With my head, it had been through a lot. And I knew that a lot of people didn't, and that's okay. I didn't want anyone to know because for me, it was all about doing what my purpose was, which was treating my patients, making sure that they get back to that functional status that they want to, their dreams, just let them be whoever they wanted to be without any variables or obstacles, and to give them that sense of not only coming into the clinic knowing something, but wanting more when they left. So with that comes the mind, the body, and the soul, because what I learned and what the research, what this is all evidence-based.
Love it. Love it.
So for me to be able to unpack on which ended up being my sister committed suicide in 2016. That to me was an awakening of this fierce injury prevention, proactivity, because it let me be close to my sister because that is kind of what she needed. And still not be able to break. So I continued on as a clinician for 8 years. And after that, and it was fantastic through COVID. My dad had a heart attack, the different little life things that you just keep rocking it because that's what you do. You keep grinding because, that's our purpose. That's our place. And that's what I've always done. I haven't been the best at everything, but you better know, I'm going to work.
You're going to work it and push it.
To try and at least get there to the best I can. So when I started noticing my own body physically start failing from multiple different things, it kind of gave me a perspective into my sister's case. And that was in 2023. And I was able to get through that with knowledge. There's a lot of pathology that in my own body that we're athletes, we're active aging athletes.
Yes, indeed.
Triple A's. That's us.
I love it. Triple A's.
Me and Kenny. So my dad's name is Kenny. And me and Kenny, after he had his heart attack, so my husband and I gave him CPR and 12 minutes.
Wow. Yeah.
But you just keep going.
Yeah.
Because you're thankful and, and I did that for so long. And I look back whenever I was able to step out of the clinic and Rusty and I's loans were paid off, and both of us as being outpatient ortho, we knew that there needed to be some kind of system, something. So I was able to start researching. Well, in doing so, I realized, holy cow, there's a lot that I wasn't even applying as a clinician. A lot of science out there in the wellness and health world. And me, I love me some neurology. I could talk all day about neurology.
Yeah.
But I was doing it more of a pathway, a way that we can understand pain and not really putting in the brain component to it. And once I started identifying different things in my own patterns, I was like, oh, crap. So I realized there was going to have to be, for me to be able to still function and break this part open, I knew that I had to use science. And then I came across the wellness model and how it had pyramid. And all of a sudden it made sense where you're just there was no balance in that wellness wheel. And so then I started looking at filling each little cup. That's how I look at it is, my little cups. We want to fill them each every day. Well, I hadn't really filled my spiritual cup in a really long, I tried, but there wasn't that connection anymore, So then researcher. So I wanted to figure out how I could reconnect and like different ways, different variables that work for my mind, maybe not someone else's, but and to want that and understand that path and that connection. I understand the strength it took, but the strength that came out of it, so much more powerful. I was able to take a place of pain and and a place of something that no one, when I say no one can understand, not comparing it to anyone else, but my circumstance with my sister is very unique. Like, she was a doctor of osteopathic medicine. I was physical therapist. And we went through female triad with her. Like, there was a whole thing, a scope of it. Well, in the end, I ended up trying to, we were doing everything to keep her functional. A surgery after this. And we were just always, as a clinician, I was always looking like, okay, the data. So for me, that was how I dissociated her case and from her brain, as I was just looking at, it doesn't make sense, the numbers. So you start looking at like central desensitization. There's different components of the brain that happen that we don't even know about. And it's insane, and I was able to put together a little of how my sister's thought process was going during that time, and understanding a part of like suicide that, I think is important for people who have had someone that's died, or someone who they know. Everyone has dealt with it. It is the silent, literally more than a heart attack. It is a silent killer. And there is one thing that my story, I know for a fact, is when your brain goes like that to a part of, you don't have control of your pain, you don't have control of your body, you don't have control of your your mind anymore. The only thing that's left is your soul. And I saw my sister, she was, you want to talk about like, to the T, where it made all of us younger sisters look really bad.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, I get it. I understand.
And but I'm now able to unpack and kind of see this new path, one that's designed around proactive, but also designed around making a mission that we need to understand the mind more. Making
the brain is just so
Oh
complex.
my God.
Just so complex.
right? It's so complex.
Definitely.
Like, and the coolest thing, I think one thing that helped me like recenter and find my soul is learn how to feed my soul side again, and I learned about like that, had that spiritual growth, which was really cool. But then I was like, holy crap, how do you, because I'm all about teaching. Well, how do you teach, this concept of mind, body, soul, wellness, there, all of these different things with all the different variables of constraint, darkness. I have always been an avid believer, and everyone has their own soul that's connected to an outside source, whatever you want to, and it fuels, like that spirit is what, and if you can tap into that, if you can understand the strength, whether it's from Christianity or whether it's from community, or it's, there are many ways that higher power speaks. But I know for me, I got so caught up in all the trauma, everything, just trying to live, survive, that I forgot just the best part, which is that we have this opportunity and gifts, and to be able to assist in many different ways, but yet still be able to heal myself and teach that, like, I mean, it's crazy.
You mentioned your 3 cups that you're filling.
Oh, my cups.
So
Yes.
what are some ways you fill those cups, or what are some ways that you maybe tell a
Oh my
client or
gosh.
patient how to fill those cups?
We're totally going to do it too. Grounding. Oh my
Love
gosh.
grounding.
Like, it's so for me, it's been very, very difficult because in the clinic, I was always moving, always, 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 always pulling, pushing, but but I also realized a lot of that made my brain so auto because it just knew I was going to do that,
Yeah.
right? That it was so weird. It was like I didn't ever stop to think. So I had to learn how to be calm.
Yeah, because you're just kind of on autopilot, just going.
Oh, and
going.
it wasn't like going. It was like zing, zing,
Right,
zong,
right,
zing, And I've always been like that happy, energetic, like that's always been me. But, after you've been through so much, sometimes it feels fake. And I could feel that. I felt like my relationships kind of starting to, because no one understood. And like, even with my like complete family. So it was important to me to write. That's what I found. One thing I do is write. I love writing. And I think that we forget about gifts that we have that, we just don't utilize until you do. And it's cool. It's
Yeah.
really cool. So I love to write. I love to ground, and definitely that social, that personal. That's what I love.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The grounding, of course, do it outside and everything, but do the mats and the grounding sheets and all those things work?
You do not have to be outside to ground. You do not have to have equipment to ground. When you ground, you are literally grounding your mind to your body.
Gotcha.
So for me, it was, it's because you have to teach people that can't move how to become one, because that's a nervous system. So if someone's in a lot of pain, like you have to teach literally how to calm. I can teach that like nobody's business, but to do it myself.
Sure.
So for me, I have to be distant, which is counterintuitive whenever I want to be with everyone. But for me, I had to, because I feel like if we don't do that, we won't find that what's fueling our soul and fueling our purpose. That is that science. That is that what your brain wants, what your brain is going to feel whole with. And then when you tap in, staying active and moving right and being aware of your joints and different things like that, you got 2 off. And and then you realize, after you've been through the mind, the body, the soul's already there. And someone should have told you from the very get-go to start with the soul and then go to the brain. It's still beyond me. Yet I still feel myself, even as a clinician, still going back to the science in the body. And for me, I want to tap more into that soulful research. Like, okay, great. So when someone can deadlift like 200 pounds, 300, 500, 600. First of all, is it asymmetrical? Yes. Are they probably going to lumbar flexion? Yes. Are they putting more freight? Anyway, so it might be a soapbox for another day.
Yeah, there we go. It'd be a good one for next time.
But what I want to know as a scientist is what you tell them, that neurology. Like, okay, so have you ever seen like people with they screen them for Alzheimer's and different things like that to see what they remember and what they recall. I want to do it for performance. So say, okay, someone goes in, they do their lift. Okay, that's your power production, because we can now test that power production with force decks.
There we go.
Now I want to talk to them and I want to motivate them. I want to look them in their eye and I want to tell them exactly how their body can mechanically do that, what they can feel. And then I want them to do it. And I want to see if there's a difference.
Right.
so much science that we can still keep advancing. And that's what we need to ask questions. We need to be curious, ask questions. But I know I was afraid to.
But I think we could take each one of these buckets or each one of these cups and one on each one. I think that'd be fun.
Let me tell you, March Madness is coming out.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So hashtag mission to move is getting ready for March
Oh,
Madness.
yeah?
I love basketball.
Love some college basketball?
I'm a Duke fan.
Okay. So you guys have seen a lot of success over the years.
Okay, yes. I am actually not really of course, love the game of basketball. Like that's but Coach K. Oh.
Yeah.
And now you see Shire taking over and you start seeing legacy.
Mhm.
And then I look
Definitely.
around, I'm like, man, there's legacy all around.
Mhm.
How do we keep rocking that?
Yeah. I love that. I love seeing that sustained excellence, that legacy continue. I just love it, no matter what sport it is. I just love seeing that.
Oh, yeah.
know?
Because it all comes down to work ethic, determination, grit, finding these different variables, seeing people's weaknesses or finding a part in yourself you didn't think you had. But with all of the March Madness, I'm mentally getting myself and physically getting myself ready. Like I'm going to play college basketball.
There you go.
I'm not.
No, but you're going to be ready just in case you want to.
In the mornings, I'm squat jumping like I am, getting ready.
Love it. Love it.
So yeah, I feel like we should definitely do.
We can do some more on that. No doubt about it.
We got to get people hyped up for this.
Let's do it. Yeah, we'll talk about that after. See if we can figure something else out there.
Yeah.
Well, let's give the audience maybe a couple of things that they could start today to help them connect that mind, body, soul, find that connection. What are a couple of things they could do today to start them down that path?
Okay. First, you have to disconnect. Okay. So whether that means, I know it's weird, you have to put everything away, like your tech, that's the one thing you have to disconnect from everything. That in itself is hard. But step one, it may take a couple weeks just for you to be able to step away from everything. That is still a step. That is still you trying. So I would say, number one, try and disconnect. 2, try and connect with your mind. That means challenging yourself to have conversations in your own mind, like challenge a thought process, go through a flow of it. I've become a flow builder.
Hey, there you go.
So understanding that transition and how we can challenge our mind and then yet challenging our body, because when you can be strong in the mind, your body's going to follow like to the T. So tapping into your mind itself just requires, everyone's so different, For me, at first, it was being outside. I had to be outside. Now I'm able to do it still inside and still calm. It's a progression. It took me like a year to be able to find calm in a storm, to be able to truly neurologically be okay, like heart rate, blood pressure, when things that maybe made me feel vulnerable happen, because that's where your anxiety starts. And then that's when, we start dealing with health in the mental world. And so first, try to disconnect from the world to reconnect with yourself.
Love it. Well, if they're wanting help with that, maybe they want to come work with you on some of that stuff. Where would they go to find out more about you?
Let me tell you, the one thing I have noticed is everything is a teamwork approach. If you go on my website, there are people resources, there's physical therapists, there's nutritionalists, you're on there for coaching. You know what I'm saying? The thing is we have our network. It's just that we weren't working together. And it's not purposeful by any means. It's just still find the way to work. And so I think that there's a lot of awesome health coaches out there, functional health coaches. You're starting to see more branches into outside clinical care. It's not because it's easier. It's not because we didn't want to do documentation, which is one of the things I've been told. It's not. It's because the only reason we aren't having any consistency way that we come back and forth is because it hasn't adapted to our outside living, and that the healthcare field, having affiliates that make your food and actually that are in healthcare, that are clinicians and that understand macros and, being able to, so Fit and Savage, she just came in she was a Springfield clinic. She's been an RN everywhere. And now she wants to start bringing in a new realm of the health and the eating world. It's awesome how I still believe God calls people in different directions, and would it have been easier to stay in the clinic? 1,000%. 1,000%. But I think that it's a purposeful mission.
It is, yeah.
And I think together, there's not one person alone that can do it. But when you realize that you're not, I'm always there to be a cheerleader. I'm one of the biggest, never was a cheerleader, but I could have cheered with the best of them.
There you go. Get after it.
But just to know that you're not alone at all. So I would say your resources are out there. I'd be happy to talk with anyone about their different physical therapists, different physical therapy practices, a little bit more of the scope of the chiropractor and health and wellness and how we can all work together, because that's what it's about, working together.
Love it. And we're going to work together more and have some more of these segments.
Yes,
we got a lot of cool stuff. It's going to be great.
I'm going to get you some matching.
Oh, some matching PJs? There we go.
Yeah, PJ party.
There we go. All right. Well, appreciate you spending some time with me today.
Absolutely.
We're going to do it again soon.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. We're going to let Kelly get back to elevating Springfield. But for the rest of y'all, we'll be right back. Hey, Springfield, when it comes to reliable, high-quality roofing, you don't want to leave things to chance. That's why you should reach out to Acosta Angeli Roofing, your local roofing expert, serving Springfield and surrounding communities. From quick, dependable repairs to full replacement, from residential to commercial, they are your trusted pros. Call them today at 217-993-2748 or visit their website to book your free quote and inspection. Don't wait. A little leak now could lead to major damage later. Trust the local experts, protect your home, and get peace of mind with Acosta Angeli Roofing. Well, thank you for joining us today, everybody. Appreciate you making us a part of your day. Hope you're enjoying these quick hits of actionable strategies here on the Wellness Upgrade on Elevate Springfield. Thank you again to Shudokan Karate Club. Hey, take what you learned today. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together, that's right, y'all, we're going to elevate Springfield. Be great.
Looking for expert tree care with hometown integrity? Look no further than Sangamon Tree Service. They're your trusted local pros, delivering quality workmanship, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest pricing every time. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, their team brings professionalism and care to every job, big or small. Call the name your neighbors trust, Sangamon Tree Service, or visit them today at sangamontreeservice.com. Sangamon Tree Service, rooted in quality, built on trust.